you'll see James Bradbury. They're going to say he grabs him. He's got his left hand on his back. I don't know. I think you let him play, finish this thing out. I don't love that call.
It seemed to me at the initial break, he grabbed the back of the jersey and pulled it. If we see that, I think that is a hold.
And with this non-controversial call, the Kansas City Chiefs have won Super Bowl 57. Closing out the 2022 NFL season in the best way possible, with absolutely no controversial calls surrounding the officiating, and with the NFL's golden boy sitting on top. And in storybook fashion, Andy Reid wins his second Super Bowl with the Kansas City Chiefs, beating the team that once fired him for his inability to win the big game. Gotta keep those paychecks coming in for expenses, don't we, Andy? That's right, folks, I'm here to talk about last weekend's Super Bowl. As many of you are well accustomed to, I love striking while the iron is lukewarm. With all that being said, here's some bread, let's talk about the circus.
Welcome to Detroit.
Hey fellas, welcome back to the channel. As you know, I'm Hat and Beard, the host of this thing. Before the train leaves the station and we get rolling down the tracks, do me a big ol' favor. Go ahead and click like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and go ahead and ring the bell so that you never miss out on any notifications. And you can become part of the Hat and Beard gang. Now that that's out of the way, fellas, let's discuss Super Bowl 57. So, big surprise, everybody. The Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Are you surprised? I'm not at all surprised. Patrick Mahomes is the NFL golden boy. It was going to happen. He's going to win a bunch of them. They love to make Patrick Mahomes the face of the NFL. The game itself was all right. It was entertaining. The outcome was exactly what I expected to have happen, but I was entertained.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
As I've stated before, guys, I don't like either team. I don't like Patrick Mahomes. Jalen Hurts seems like a stand-up guy. The Kelce brothers seem like really cool dudes, and Jason Kelce really seems like a great individual. And I have to admit, fellas, I have a soft spot in my heart for Big Play Slay. Admittedly, I think the Quintricia administration just absolutely did him dirty. It's unfortunate, but, you know, at least he got to a Super Bowl. I, again, though, have a real big soft spot for Big Play Slay. Now, all that being said, I honestly thought that, this was a ticky-tacky call. I'm not saying it was a right call. I'm not saying it was a bad call. I'm saying it was a very ticky-tacky call. It was, however, far too important of a call to make at that point in the game on that part of the field in this specific game. And I think there's a reason for that. And with all that being said, I can totally understand and see the arguments people are having that the NFL is rigged or scripted. However, I'm kind of retarded. I've got a different lens that I want to look at this from, and it has to deal with the officiating. For those of you who are unaware, the officiating crews in the NFL are not full-time employees of the NFL. They are part-time contracted employees. They receive no benefits, no retirement, no year-long salary from the NFL. What does that mean? It means these cats have to find another job the rest of the year to provide for their families, to get benefits, to get health insurance, to get retirement. They can't focus 100% of their duties, their responsibilities on bettering themselves as officials, reviewing books, keeping in physical top-tier shape, understanding small changes in the rules, and being able to further develop rules so that the calls can be made easier, so that it's more obvious to the fans and the officials, so that we're not having these goofy little ticky-tack penalties in the Super Bowl on the last play of the drive, setting up the game-winning field goal for the Kansas City Chiefs. And in my opinion, the fact that the refs are not full-time employees employed by the NFL year-round, benefits, training, that type of stuff, bettering themselves to put a better product on the field, is absolutely ridiculous. Look, in layman's terms, folks, you get what you pay for, all right? So I think the refs were making a statement with that call. Pay us better, we'll do better. Or maybe it was a right call. Maybe it was a bad call. Drop a comment down below. Was this defensive holding? Was it justifiable? Was it egregious enough to throw a flag in the most important game of the season at the most important point of the most important game of the season? Let me know down below. The game, though, was fine. It was entertaining. Admittedly, Jalen Hurts balled out. He did everything in his power to will his team to victory. That man played his heart out and left it all on the field. A true class act sportsman that gave it his all and came up a little short. because unfortunately, he ran into the buzzsaw that is Patrick Mahomes. And Patrick Mahomes, just like all the quarterbacks before him that ended up becoming the greats, did the one thing that all the greats do. Cried to the refs that the big meanies were being mean. Delivered. He delivered when the lights were on, and when it mattered most, Patrick Mahomes did what Patrick Mahomes has been doing the entire time he's been in the NFL. He's been delivering. So, congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs. The halftime show, let's be honest, no one was going to be able to top last year's halftime show. It was far too legendary. It hit all the right notes with the major demographic, and that is my age group. So, no, I wasn't impressed with a pregnant, mid-tier celebrity from my late teenage years strutting back and forth around on stage while she was surrounded by sperms dancing like chickens. However, because I'm such a nerd, I was really fascinated with the platforms and the engineering that went into the rigging to have the platforms elevate to allow people to actually perform on the elevated platforms. That shit was cool, man. The commercials were, well, look, I'm going to sound like a really old man, guys. You know, the commercials, I'll talk about the commercials because more people tune in to watch the commercials than at any point during the NFL season. Look, I thought they were okay at best, and not to sound like the oldest man in the world, but I tell you, commercials were so much better back in my day. When I was a ute running around, we had iconic moments like the Budweiser Frogs and the Was Up line that lived far too long in the cultural zeitgeist. There was maybe 3 commercials that I can think of that I actually liked. I thought that the Ben Affleck working at Dunkin' was pretty funny. I thought that the Miles Teller Bud Light commercial where he was dancing to the hold music with his wife was wholesome and entertaining. It was good. It was fun. And here's the point where I lose half of my audience. I really liked the Jesus commercials, okay? I think it's very important to get that message across right now. Oh no! That's a conservative Christian! Really? Are you really that surprised? Are you shocked? Are you just beside yourself? Is this news to you? I did, however, absolutely hate the Serena Williams commercials. That Al Pacino 6 inches speech is iconic. The inches speech is so iconic to so many people. That speech is literally every part of my football memories growing up. And I'm not saying she can't do the speech, but what I'm saying is that that speech is so iconic, delivered in such an iconic way by such an iconic actor, that the way she went about doing it just did terrible injustice. This is what the inches speech is supposed to sound like.
Because that's what living is. The 6 inches in front of your face.
You see my problem with it? Lastly, the broadcast. Hey, look, I thought the broadcast was fine. Kevin Burkhardt is a decent commentator. And let's be honest, Greg Olsen has really developed into a top-tier commentator. I genuinely enjoy listening to him. Those two have filled in great for when they had to replace Troy Aikman and Joe Buck. I thought they have done a fantastic job all season. They did a great job through the Super Bowl. I really look forward to hearing more Greg Olsen throughout the years commentate games. So that's going to do it for me, fellas. Drop a comment down below what you thought of the Super Bowl, what you thought of the halftime, what you thought of the commercials and the broadcast. Let me know, was that an egregious defensive holding penalty? I wouldn't say it was egregious, however, it does fall within the guidelines of the rule book, so technically it was the right call at a bad time. That's my take on it. Right call, bad time to make the right call. Far too ticky-tacky of a situation, but hey, have yourself a good rest of the week, guys. Stay out of trouble, don't do anything I wouldn't do, and get out of here.
Time to 23 Skidoo. Or should I say 69 Skidoo?
She said that my pornos were boring.